Hello, people of the universe. Welcome to my planet. Today, hold on. Okay. So, it has been a while since I first posted a video. Since my years of not posting a video. I think it was like April 5th or something like that. April 4th, April 5th, something like that. Anyway, it is now August 9th. It is now August 9th, and yeah, it's been a while. So, last video was my spring and summertime TBR, and that was the books that I wanted to read in the spring and summertime of this year, which is 2022. So, I didn't read anywhere near the amount of books that I wanted to read in that time. I did read some of the books that were on that list, on that TBR, but not even close to all of them, or even most of what I wanted to read, but I did read quite a few books nonetheless. So that is why I have my phone here, because it has Goodreads on it, and I'm going to tell you guys all of the books that I read in the spring and summertime. So let's start with the oldest, starting from like the first of the year to the newest, which I actually finished yesterday. So let's do it. No, not yesterday. The day before yesterday. Wait. Yeah. Sunday. Okay. So starting off, the first book I finished this year, Fablehaven by Brandon Mule. I'm not sure. It's about kids who go to this this property, stay with their grandparents. There's a bunch of magical creatures, and if you drink milk, you can see fairies. I don't know, you drink milk from this magical cow or something. I don't know. Anyway, next, Spring Story by Jill Barklam. It's Brambley Hedge Books. The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter. Simple as it sounds. Stranger Things Science Camp, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. Lucinda's Secret by Tony DigitalLizzy and Holly Black. Which is the second book, the third book actually in that series. I actually read all 5 books in like 10 days. I really love them. I do want to reread them also. So, Stranger Things 6 by Jody Houser. This is a graphic novel. The Stranger Things Science Camp, the 4 volumes, those are also graphic novels, but they're like 20 pages each, and they took me like 10 minutes to read. And then this one, Stranger Things 6 by Jody Houser, is another Stranger Things like graphic novel, but it's about, like how Eleven is in that whole like science lab thing. Well, this is about a girl just like her named Six, who has different abilities. I think it's like to tell the future or something like that. The Tale of Benjamin Bunny by Beatrix Potter. There's a Walk It in My Pocket by Dr. Seuss. Merry Christmas Rainbow Fish by Marcus Pfister. I don't know. Anyway, those last 2 books were just books that because I volunteer at the library. Well, I don't volunteer anymore, but I did. And when I was like shelving and like shelf reading the kid books, like the picture books and the board books. And like I saw books and I just sort of picked it up and started reading them, and I finished them because they're like really short children's books. So that's why there's a bunch of these books on there. The Tale of Squirrel Nutkin by Beatrix Potter. The Tale of Mrs. Tittlemouse by Beatrix Potter. Amber the Orange Fairy by Daisy Meadows. Fern the Green Fairy by Daisy Meadows. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. We Should All Be Feminists by... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Sorry. The Tale of Benjamin Bunny. Wait, that's already there. What in the world? This thing is repeating itself. Okay. Many Lives, Many Masters. The True Story of a Prominent Psychiatrist, His Young Patient. Prominent Psychiatrist and His Young Patient? Something like that. Anyway, it's by Brian L. Weiss. I'm not really sure which one. I'm going to go with Weiss, because that sounds better, in my opinion. So this is about past life regression therapy. It's about this young patient named Catherine who has horrible anxiety. She doesn't get more than 2 hours of sleep each night. She's having an affair with a married man. She's not married, but her whole life basically terrible, until she goes into this guy his guy's office. She makes an appointment for hypnotherapy, and this guy is just a regular scientific hypnotherapist until when Catherine is going under hypnosis, she starts recalling past lives. She starts recalling past lives, and then so you see Catherine's life being transformed into this amazing, like, not amazing, but this amazing life, basically. Just this, like, really good life that she has that's no problems, basically. And you see this normal scientific guy, hypnotherapist, turn into this super metaphysical guy, being a regression therapist or regression hypnotherapist. And sorry, my dog is walking around. Okay, cool. Next, The Wrath of Morgarath by Tony DiDelizzi and Holly Black, which is actually the 5th book, because these aren't in order for some reason. They are supposed to be, but they're not. The Ironwood Tree by Tony DiDelizzi and Holly Black, which is the 4th one. The Seeing Stone by Tony DiDelizzi and Holly Black, which is the 2nd one. And the 1st one, which is The Field Guide by Tony DiDelizzi and Holly Black. Next is Union with God by Jean Goyon and Jean Edwards. Well, Why Didn't You Say So by Joanne Wold Unada. This is like my favorite children's books ever. It was my favorite book when I was younger, and it still is one of my all-time favorite books. It's about this boy who loses his dog, and then he goes all around town asking people, have you seen my dog? But he doesn't explain that it's his dog. He just says Willie, which is the dog's name. So everybody's asking, like, no, I haven't seen it. Not asking, but everybody's saying, like, no, I haven't seen your dog, sorry. And the thing is, not Willie, but this kid starts naming just these little traits about the dog. He doesn't even say that he's a dog, though. And he's just like, he's a tail, yeah, he's this color, he has these colored eyes, he's this tall, you know. So people think he's like a human or a cat or a goat or a horse or a squirrel. So it's funny, and I like it. Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne and Ernest H. Shepard. Well, illustrated by Ernest H. Shepard. The first book in the Winnie the Pooh series by A.A. Milne, which is a fantastic series, and you should read it. And then I read his poetry book, which is technically, this poetry book is the last book in the series, because it's a 4-book series with 2 poetry books and 2, like, actual storybooks. But yeah, Now We Are 6 by A.A. Milne, decorations by Ernest H. Shepard. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast, but Now We Are 6 by A.A. Milne is a poetry book, and it's one of the greatest ones I've ever known. A Giant Problem by Tony DiDelizzi and Holly Black, which is the 2nd book in the Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles series. So it's not a part of the series, but it's like a new series, so it still deals with the Fae, but it's in Florida, not Maine, and it deals with different characters. And then The Nixie Song by Tony DiDelizzi and Holly Black is the 1st book of that series. And then I started reading the 3rd one earlier this year. It was only like a few months ago, but I started reading the 3rd one, and I got super bored, and I didn't even finish it. I only had 2 chapters left. I could have just pushed through, but it was really boring. The first series is far better than the 2nd one. It's still good. It's written by the same people, but it's not as good. There's something about the first series that just blew my mind. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. It's very popular. I read it. I loved it. It was good. And I don't normally like more modern books. I prefer classics or, I don't know, just really well-written books, but a lot of these are just really normal words, and I feel bored, so. Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. Everybody knows that. The House at Pooh Corner by A.A. Milne. Decorations by Ernest H. Shepard. So, this is the 2nd book, the actual storybook of the Winnie the Pooh series. And When We Were Very Young by A.A. Milne, with decorations by Ernest H. Shepard, which is the 3rd book in the series, which is one of the 2 poetry books. So I read these all out of order, but who cares? The Little Prince by nope, I'm not even gonna try. That's Anton de Saint-Exupéry, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's The Little Prince. The Marvelous Land of Oz by L. Frank Baum, 2nd book in the Wizard of Oz series. Harold and the Purple Crayon by Croquette Johnson. Very good. It's actually really creative. It's about this baby who goes on a walk and he has this purple crayon and he draws everything. He draws little cities, he draws paths, he draws trees and a dragon. It's really cute and it's really creative. The Odd Ones Out, How to Be Cool and Other Things I Definitely Learned from Growing Up. By James Rallison, which if you haven't watched the Odd Ones Out YouTube channel, I do recommend it, and he's pretty funny. And then The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Graham and illustrated by Arthur Rackman. I did enjoy this book. It wasn't as good as another classic. That is my all-time favorite book, which I will not say now. Try and guess, actually. If anybody's watching this video, try and guess what book I'm talking about. Okay. Now that we're done, those are all the books that I read in spring and summertime. As you can see, not anywhere near what I wanted to read in the spring and summertime. But in that video, the ones that I named in my last video, but still read quite a bit, I feel like. So now we're gonna move on to the books that I am currently reading, and that is 3 books, which is a big step down from 13. Yes, I was currently reading 13 books, and then I whittled it down by half by finishing some of them, a few, very few, and then half by just taking them off my Goodreads because I was gonna start reading them farther time. So number 1 is Messages to the Masters, Tapping into the Power of Love by Brian Wess, or Weiss, whatever. This is also about past life regression, but it's about a ton of different people, which I prefer ones with, it's just about this one person, but this is about Messages from the Masters. That's why the other book I was talking about, Many Lives, Many Masters, it's just about this one patient and him and all the things she recalls from her past lives, but this is really good too. I'm third of the way through it, a little bit more than third of the way through it, and I'm hoping to finish it before August ends because I start school tomorrow. Like public school, I'm homeschooled. I like being homeschooled, but I start school tomorrow, so I'm gonna be reading while I'm in school. Oh god. Anyway, I don't want to think about that right now, but what I'm thinking is, because I don't live with my mom, I live with my dad, and my mom lives like an hour away, so I'm thinking I'll try and stay at her place almost every weekend, and I can get a lot of reading done. Anyway, next book I'm reading is Reading Like a Writer by Francine Prose, a guide for people who love books and for those who want to write them. Now, I am about a third of the way through this book as well, maybe a little bit less. This book is fantastic. It's written really, 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 really well, and it makes me excited to read more. So I really recommend this. I'm not even done with it, but it's amazing, and I really want to finish this. Next, the last, but certainly not least, is Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I am about probably a little bit less than a third, maybe a fourth. Yeah, I'm about a fourth. So it's really good, and this is an Arcturus classic. I really, really like these editions. The font is perfect. Most of the sizes are perfect. This one, I think they did the font a tiny bit too big, but it's still really good, and I really, really like it. I find myself having to reread sentences a lot, like read them again and again, just because it's really in-depth, which I really like doing because it actually gets my brain working instead of reading, I don't know, a comic book or something. Now moving on to the books that I want to read, which is the point of this video, the books that I want to read in the spring and summertime. Nope. The books that I want to read in the fall time of this year. Now, there's only 7 here, and I probably won't get around to reading them all because I'm going to school, but my goal is, what I'm thinking is that I can average reading like 1 to 2 books a week, which is more than enough of what I need to finish these books before the winter time starts, or I guess Christmas time. So what I'm thinking is that spring and summertime ends. The summertime ends August 1st, and August is sort of like a transition from summer to fall. It's September 1st is when fall starts, and for me, at least, in my opinion, is just what I like. So once fall starts, I'm going to start reading this book. So I have this month, August, to finish reading these 3 books, which is doable, but for me, who knows. But this is also my birthday month. My birthday is the 24th of this month, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's see if I can read these starting September 1st. First is Redwall by Brian Jacque. The Legend Begins. I don't know. It's the first book in the series. I really want to read it. I'll read you the back. By Publishers Weekly. An animal world as compelling as that of The Wind in the Willows, this epic adventure contains elements of all grand quests with heroic archetypes that will keep fans of Tolkien and King Arthur tales engaged to the final battle. Redwall. And this is the back. And this is the spine. Okay. Next is The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton. A beaver book. When Cousin Dick comes to stay, Joe, Bessie, and Fanny can't wait to show him the enchanted wood and the magic faraway tree, and they all have lots of exciting adventures with their old friends Moonface, Silky, and the Saucepan Man for younger readers. Cover illustrations by Gary Embleton. Anyway, I know this is a classic, and I know a lot of people read this, and they like it a lot. The chapters are pretty short. I'm excited. Oh my god, I see the Saucepan Man. And Moonface. I'm excited. Anyway, it's a short children's classics. I really am excited for that one. Goosebumps Horrorland, Welcome to Camp Slither. I got this for 50 cents at a waterfront thrift store in Gulf Breeze when I was seeing my mom actually like a week ago. But yeah, I read a book like this last year during the fall time, and I read it in one day. It was the Goosebumps Most Wanted Planet of the Lawn Gnomes. The twist at the end really psyched me out. I was shocked, but that's because I hadn't really read a lot of books with twisters. Actually, none. I hadn't read any books with twists in them. Next, I want to read Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. This is a thriller retelling of The Wizard of Oz. It says, remove the Tin Woodman's heart, steal the Scarecrow's brain, and take the Lion's courage, and then Dorothy must... Can I say that? I think so. What the cover says. I don't know. Damn it. Anyway, sure. This is what the book says. Sure, I've read the books, I've seen movies, but I never expected Oz to look like this. A place where good witches can't be trusted and wicked witches just might be the good guys. A place where even the yellow brick road is crumbling. What happened? Dorothy. My name is Amy Gum, and I'm the other girl from Kansas. I've been recruited by the Revolutionary Order of the Wicked, and I've been given a mission. And then that's what the stuff says down there. Anyway, it's a really thick book, as you can see. But if I like this book, which I honestly have no clue if I'm going to like it. It could go either way. But if I like this book, I'm going to read the sequel, which I found at a thrift store. Actually, first, before this, I actually got this online. But the second one is The Wicked Will Rise. It's, as you can see, by comparison, much, much shorter. But if I like this, then I'll read this too. Next. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. A lot of people like this book, and I read the first few pages last year, and I didn't like it just because I got bored. But that's not to say it's not a good book. So I'm going to retry it this year. Hopefully it'll be good. Now, I did start reading this book last year too, and I really, really loved it, but I stopped reading it, and I was reading a ton of other books, so I'm going to try again. And I love the TV show so much, so sure I know how it ends, but I'm sure the book has stuff that the TV show doesn't, and that is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I have a hardcover, and I tapped it very heavily when I was reading it. I got about a third of the way through, but yeah. It says, a direct descendant of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Let's see, let me read you the synopsis if you don't know what it's about. Good Omens. There is a distinct hint of Armageddon in the air. According to the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes Nutter Witch, recorded, thankfully, in 1655, before she blew up her entire village and all its inhabitants, who gathered to watch her burn. The world will end on a Saturday. Next Saturday, in fact. So the armies of good and evil are amassing. The four bikers of the apocalypse are revving up their mighty hogs and hitting the road. And the world's last two remaining witch-finders are getting ready to fight the good fight, armed with awkwardly antiquated instructions and stick pins. Atlantis is rising, frogs are falling, tempers are flaring. Right. Everything appears to be going according to divine plan. So yeah, that's sort of part of the synopsis. But yeah, The Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I really, really am excited for this. So that is about it. That's the video. It was very short, I know, but that's all I have to say. So, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you would like. Like this video if you want. Leave a comment. Actually, leaving a comment would be great. I don't know if you're even allowed to leave comments on these videos. I don't know. YouTube might restrict it. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Yeah. And I hope you have a good day. This is August 9th on a Tuesday. Yeah. All right.